Hello and welcome everyone to Willow Talk once again in a different kind of studio at the moment. Just thought we'd mix it up. Adam Peacock alongside Brad Haddin. How are you, Hads?
Mate, it's been a good weekend. Our kids have been busy. Mate, they played all their sport in the wet.
How?
Private schools.
Of course.
Let's get them on.
Yeah.
Mate, all boys school, you got to run them around. It's a long week. I tell
pay
you,
all that money, you got to get value for it.
mate, a funny thing happened. So you might be able to help me with this.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest came home with one school shoe on and one jogger.
Right.
And I said, where's your school shoes? He goes, mate, Dad, I found my jogger.
Yeah.
I said, well, did you lose your school shoe?
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you mean? So I'm not sure whether he lost the shoe or he found a shoe, but he walked into the house
Yes.
with a jogger and a school shoe on.
So where were the opposites of them?
Well, I had to go down and buy a pair from Asics on Saturday.
But nowhere to be seen.
Not the other one. I said, so did you lose one or did you find one?
I can't work out.
I don't know.
We are led to believe that teenage minds are a confusing place. They're like a big jigsaw puzzle and everything's shaking about and not sure what's going on. But that's pushing it. That's borderline. I think you might need to kind of have a deeper evaluation about how
Should
your
I be
mind's
happy
working.
that he's found a shoe or
No.
should I be angry that he's lost one?
Oh, angry. It's a lot easier to revert as a parent to anger.
What about if I didn't understand what he said? On how,
I still don't understand what he said. Is he like, so what you're saying is, you know how you see those mysterious looks of like tied shoes draping over a power line?
yeah.
So you're going to walk through your local area and you're going to see the two spare ones. You go, there they are. There they are.
Anyway.
Found them. Weird. At least
Good to be home.
At least they got to play sport. Yeah, these are the things that you're now dealing with when you're not touring with cricket. And we're going to talk about cricket today, of course, on Willow Talk. Australia defeated Australia in the first T20 as we sit here right now, and some great moments up there in the north. Geez, it looked nice sitting here in a southern winter, watching that, and everyone's sweating away and sitting on the hill with a beer and T-shirts on. And good luck to them. And it's good to see cricket in the top end and. Yeah,
Well,
everyone enjoying themselves.
What's it been? 17 years.
Yeah.
I played the last one day that was up there. We played against Bangladesh. The last time. We had a great time. Up there. You get to go barra fishing. You get to see the crocs.
Mitch Marsh was out there with a big smile on his face with a fish in his hand. So.
And he had a smile on his face after the first ball he faced also. He looked pretty relaxed.
Tim David looked pretty relaxed as well. We'll get into that about the power hitting of Tim David and a crowd catch for the ages. 15 weeks out from the start of the Ashes. So, Hads, what we're going to do in the lead up, we're not going to call it the power rankings or the 15 greatest or whatever like that. Each week on Willow Talk, we're just going to pick one player and have an in-depth chat about that certain player. And today, may as well start with one of England's best, Harry Brook. We'll get into a chat about Harry Brook a bit later on.
Well, I don't mind the Harry Brook's approach to the game. He's a bit like Kevin Peterson. And I've seen a different side of Harry Brook also. When the game, I think it was the second test when it got a bit feisty, he was the one right in the middle of it. So I think the Australian crowd are like Harry Brook as well.
That already have, and we'll get into that a bit later on. But we'll throw in a stat about Harry Brook. CricViz, the numbers wizards when it comes to cricket, they put out something that of all the batters in men's test cricket to score over 1,000 runs, he has the highest strike rate of all time, 87. Extraordinary. So the way he goes about it will be very interesting. Yes, fearless is the word. And speaking of fearless, Elisa Healy, she's a cricketer again, and she's 3 games back, playing for Australia A against India A and scoring some runs as well and breaking a bat. So take the good with the bad when it comes to that. So we'll talk about Heels a bit later on, not to her, about her. And we're going to finish with a couple of would you rather cricket questions as well. Now, make sure you check us out on social media channels at Willow Talk Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Plus, check out our YouTube channel at Listener Sport for all the full-length episodes and shorts. Luke has got a question, Hads. Could we bring back a form of the try series we used to see over summer and include a minnow nation? For example, the Ashes Test Series stands alone, but then when we play the white ball cricket, Namibia or Scotland participate as well. Perhaps not full format of a try series, but a one-day and a couple of T20s. Thoughts?
Oh, there's a lot of cricket on at the moment, and trying to get a try series with the way the Future Tour program is a logistic nightmare. But what I would consider with that, and I think when IPL's on, for example, you had the 2-month break. Like you could have a Scotland, Italy now are in the 2020 World Cup. Why can't they do a top-end series, for example, up at Darwin and Cairns with the Australian A team?
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to develop not only our local talent, but also teams like Scotland, Namibia, as you said, Ireland. You could even play, and this is going off the beaten track a little bit, but test matches against teams like Zimbabwe. Give them more exposure. West Indies will be in that boat as well, the way they played in the recent series. But I would look at different things like that.
Yeah, the Kiwis absolutely pumped Zimbabwe in a test match.
Yeah.
They're getting back into it, Zimbabwe, but they need more cricket. They can't just rock up all of a sudden, play New Zealand, play England. Yeah. They're going to just cop it. So,
well, I reckon because it's so packed, and you had the players that go to IPL, and they're our superstars. They're our cream of the crop. So why not play a 4-day or 5-day series against Zimbabwe with the young Australian A players, and then you can have a tri series, throw Scotland in at the end, because that's a window where a lot of our younger cricketers aren't playing any cricket.
Yeah, they finish Shield, like, say, end of April or start of April. And then May, it's like, I don't know, you've played state cricket. Do you want to get to the end of Shield and just go, no, I want to down tools and just chill out for a while? Or would those young players readily accept the availability or the ability to go up north and
I think they would. I know in my playing days, if you had the opportunity to play for Australia or whoever was against, it was that next step. And that's sort of the next step between being a test player or a state player. That cricket in the middle was one of the best parts of development we had coming through.
Now, don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and send in your club caps as well. Episode notes have all that info about where to send in your club cap. And James has written a little question here. Did you see Glenn McGrath has predicted 5-0 Australia in the Ashes for the 7th straight series? I think it's more than 7, isn't it?
From day one. Well, when he played, he could pull it off. He was right every time.
Well, he was about to be right in 2005, and then he stepped on a freaking ball in the warm-up, didn't he? So, anyway.
Pigeon.
Were you out there that day?
There's balls everywhere.
What about the next test? Were things cleaned up a bit more?
No balls then.
Where were you when it happened?
Right near it. I was passing the footy with him.
Did you hear it as well? Was there a massive audible scream? Because the English say they heard it from the other side of the ground.
No, everyone was just in shock.
Anyway, twist of fate, literally, that one. 2005. Let's get to present-day cricket, Australia v South Africa in Darwin. As we sit here and record this episode last night, Australia got it done. Got a little tight at the end, even though it looked like Australia were a step ahead. Bit of trouble, 6 for 74, but Tim David lit it up again. He's in great form. You saw it in the West Indies, Hads, with his very own eyes with him. Just what did he do? He just basically gave the local kids who were waiting outside the ground. A whole Rebel Sports store full of cricket balls, basically, outside the ground.
Kids the day before his 100, he was hitting balls out of the whole ground. And you could see the little kids as we come in the next day, they had 20 brand new white balls. So, what I liked about Tim David's and his 100 as well in St Kitts in the West Indies, one, his fearless approach, and we know he's always played that way. But he's done it under pressure. This time he came in, I think it was 6 for 74 under pressure. But he trusts his approach. And to trust your approach there and not to change your game comes from good coaching, a really clear style of game that you want to play. His second ball, he charged down to Rabada and hit it straight for 6. So Australia have got a really clear way they want to play this 2020 in the build-up to the next World Cup. But I like that he's been given a chance up the order, and I like that he's doing it, not just the last 15 balls of the innings, but under pressure and his counter-attack to get Australia back in front of the game. They didn't stop playing that fearless role, and it suits Tim. I love that he's been given opportunity, and he's putting some big numbers up now, so it's good to watch. Yeah,
it looks like with the batting, with the T20s, with the men's, it's taken a while to get to this stage, but now it's like, okay, you look down that batting order and you get one out and you go, okay, well, it's the same again here. Here's another player who can go 50 off 20 in a blink of an eye and the game's taken away from us. there's 7 of them basically down that order. There's no ballast. There's no steadying ship there. It's just steadying force there. It's just all out power.
Well, in recent time, all the stats say that Australia lose the game because the amount of wickets they lost in the power play. But the pace that they're scoring and the style of play, that they're playing a fearless approach where, and I heard Cameron Green's talk about it in the West Indies where he said, I feel like you walk out and I've got to keep going not to get in the way for the batters coming behind me.
Yeah.
So they've got this approach where it's all out attack. And when you're playing 8 batters, someone's going to come off. And you think if someone comes off with a big score, another couple of guys get 20 or 30 off 10 balls or 15 balls, there's your 200 runs and you're in every game. So they've got a really clear game style that they're happy to play. But the best thing about they're trusting it when they're put under pressure. So even if they do get a couple of wickets, South Africa, they were still on the defensive because they didn't know what this Australian team were going to do.
What about the crowd catch? Tim David. So old mate, just on the fence line, 2 tins in one hand, mitt goes out, takes it cleanly. Thank you very much, like he expected to do it.
Yeah.
I want you to compare that to, remember the one, late 80s, I reckon.
Yeah.
Old mate on the boundary. He's the camera assistant. He's got the stubbies on. Yeah. He's got the sunnies on. The Carreras, I reckon they are. He's taken the catch, thrown it back and taken the biggest drag back on a Winnie Blue and started doing the alphabet with the smoke out of the mouth. One of the coolest looks we've ever seen in the history of cricket. What crowd catch was better?
Well, for the whole theatre, the smoke and how cool it was, like, I do this every day.
Yeah.
The guy up in Darwin, he had 2 cans, caught it in his opposite hand.
Yeah.
That's not the first time he's done it.
Yes, exactly.
The cool one, I reckon, was, that's easy. I'm lucky to get that. But the guy, I reckon he's done that, sitting at the barbecue, you go heads up, caught it, throw it back to the kids. I reckon it's not the first time he's done that.
How do you reckon that guy...
Because he's always had 2 cans in his hand.
Exactly. Yeah. He is, I would dare say, and I'm assuming here, piss fit, that fella. He's pretty comfortable with being able to handle it.
I reckon, though, he's still going from last night. And if he had to buy a can in a pub at Darwin last night, I'd be very, very surprised.
And the beautiful thing is he's got the memory to just take around on his phone and say...
He'll be front page. He'll take Tim David, mark my words, off the front or back page today.
I'll just go back to that guy in the 80s. I don't know who it is. And maybe we can... Willow Talk listeners can let us know maybe who it might have been or whatever like that. Just how he would have conveyed that evening. It's like to say... he's at a barbecue or he's at the pub or something like that. He sidles up to a member of the opposite sex who might have caught his eye and he goes, hey, darling, guess what I did today? And she wouldn't have believed him because he wouldn't have had the replay or something. He would have had to go through it. And like if he told me without seeing it, I wouldn't have believed it. But yeah, it's one for the ages, that one.
He was a pilot. Sorry, just jumping in here as well, just to make it even cooler.
Producer Joel knows.
I saw him last night on Instagram. He's a 25-year-old pilot.
Oh, the guy in Darwin.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the guy in the 80s.
Oh, that guy's a cameraman, but the guy in Darwin, pilot.
Pilot?
I'm not getting on that flight. No way in the world.
He's a 25-year-old pilot. Yeah, don't you have to have a body of work before you become a pilot? Like 25 seems young for a pilot.
Well, how comfortable he was with 2 cans in, mate, that's even better. Mate, the guy who did it with the smoke, his biggest concern was a wardrobe malfunction with his stubbies.
So one popped out.
Yeah. That's what I reckon he did. Like 2 quick up, one might have just popped out the side. But they're both cool.
Both brilliant moments in time. Absolutely. And good luck to the passengers of whatever flight that gent is in charge of next, because I reckon over the tannoy in the over the speaker, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to land, by the way. Check me out on,
Well, what about it as he gives his speech before he takes off? If you know it's him, are you running for the exit?
I reckon you are.
I am. I'm out.
Back to the cricket. South Africa have bought a good team, a very good team, very strong team as well. They've got some ability with the bat, couldn't quite get enough going, and you could see what they were trying to do, But, I mean, I was waiting for a guy like Hendrik Klaassen to come in. I've been waiting for a while because, of course, he's no longer playing with South Africa. But if he's in that lineup, the result perhaps could have twisted. But, yeah, these next couple of games will be a fun watch as well.
Yeah, the quicks were very good, weren't they? From both teams. Nagini, what I liked about him, Australia started where in the first 6 overs they had no answer. And his experience, he came on, and you see in the over he got Cameron Green out. He bowled 3 slow balls and he eventually hit one up the chimney. So his experience was exactly what they needed. The young left armour, Mafaka, mate, he debuted in the IPL as a 17-year-old off the back of a World Cup success for South Africa. So, mate, he's athletic. Keep an eye on him. He can hit the radar gun up near 90 miles an hour. He's got a lot of tricks. And the interesting thing they did with him, they bowled him through the middle and used his skill with change of pace. They've got an experienced attack, but they used him a bit like Australia used Nathan Ellis in all the tough overs. He's only 19. You got Rabada and Nagini there, but so keep an eye out for that young man. He can bowl quick. He's got a lot of change ups. He knows how to, and what they call it is he knows how to sequence his over. You hear Nathan Ellis talk about it a lot, how to get in and out of the over, how to use your slow balls, what length, and he was very impressive in those middle overs.
Jumping around a bit, I should have gone off the back of the good catches to Glenn Maxwell instead of asking you about other things right there. And we'll get back to the bowlers in a moment because I want to ask you one about Josh Hazlewood, but just to Glenn Maxwell. That one.
Your team, no matter if he gets no runs or no wickets, your team functions better in this form of the game with Glenn Maxwell in. To do things like that, I've seen him at training all the time. So to me, well done, Maxie. He just makes the impossible look so easy. But there's only a handful of players in the world that can get the timing of that perfect. You've got the ball goes up, you've got a decision to make. You take all the cues on how it sounds off the bat, the flight, on how fast it's going, and then to execute your movements at the perfect time. I think there's only a couple of players that could do it.
Well, you saw Mohammad Siraj in that test match try to do it, and unfortunately for Mohammad, didn't come off. He ended up being the man for India in the fourth innings.
All the cues you've got, all the decisions you have to make to catch that.
Yeah.
That's the hardest bit, to judge I've got to go off one leg. Yes, he's hit it this hard. This is what it sounded like off the bat. These are all the things that with repetition of practice. And Glenn Maxwell practices it time and time again.
So he actually, day before a game, he's on the rope and just...
all the time. You hit the ball and you set the rope up. He takes a couple of fielders with him now and then, whether he has to learn to throw it into him or use his momentum. He's always trying different ways to do it. What fascinated me with coaching him is how his timing, where he can get it and just go with the natural flight of the ball, use the flight of the ball and just pop it up, get his balance and catch it. So I know you skipped over it. The reason you skipped over it, because it happens all the time. The one he did last year in the Big Bash was like, oh, wow. And they're talking about catch of the year where one went to duck it at cover. No, to do that, the athleticism, I think, mate, we need more of it in the game. I'd actually change the rule.
Yeah?
I would change the rule that you can run outside the ground and take off and catch it.
As long as you've got control of it before you hit the ground.
Before you hit the ground. And the reason I would do that is because athletes are so more athletic than we used to be. So to do that, you've got to make a decision. The fast bowler would trip. They'd fall over it. We've seen Siraj couldn't even just turn his body side on to take it. To jump over the rope, get the path of the ball, how hard it's hit, and then make the leap perfect. I think we need to show how athletic they are and let them, if they catch it inside the ground, if they take off out, who cares? Let's show in the 2020 format how athletic they are.
Because they changed the bunny hop rule, if you like, and that's fair because that looked ridiculous.
Well, what about, that did, but what about the ball's coming and you've got to jump over the rope, then time your jump to take off again?
Yeah.
And if you land inside, whether you take off outside, so be it. We want to see more athletic catches like that. Gives us something to talk about. And I tell you, there's only 5% of the world that can do it.
What about if the rope is close enough to the actual fence to jump on top of the fence and then leap up and then land inside?
The pilot could have done that.
Yeah, he would have done that.
He would have done that easy.
And not spilled a drop.
Yeah, well, there's a rule now you have to, I think it's got to be 1.5 metres from the fence. So you've got scope for them to use that part of the ground. So that's only something I'd like changed.
Climb up the top of a sight screen and jump off there and take a catch.
Mate, now we're going.
Now we're jackass territory. That's what we're doing. Back to the bowling. Josh Hazlewood again proving himself at the T20. And this still feels like a bit of a surprise how good he is at T20 bowling. I mean, he's ranked outside the top 20 in the ICC rankings, which kind of makes you think, I'm not sure that they've got those quite right. And it's not the first time the ICC rankings have been thought as such. But he's one of the most valuable. Like if you're doing just a slate clean auction and you put 20 blokes in, fast bowlers into the IPL auction, he's one of the first taken.
Well, he's won every 2020 tournament.
Yeah.
He won the IPL recently. He's won a World Cup. He's won the Sixers. He's won Champion League. I put him up there with one of the best 2020 bowlers in the world in the top three. I know you've got Bumrah, you've got Starkey, and I don't see anyone more effective than Josh Hazlewood. And the interesting thing about that, he didn't play 2020 for a long time as well. He concentrated a lot on Test cricket, but he's new level. He was new level in the IPL, and there was a lot going on when the break happened in IPL, whether who's going to come back. And the one thing Bangalore looked nervous about was, oh no, I hope they don't hold Josh Hazlewood back.
Yeah.
Because he was probably the form fast bowler of the IPL. The difference now...
You're sitting there at the five going,
don't take him.
Would you take him?
Oh,
Piss off, Josh. But go and prepare for a test match.
He can bowl in all facets now. He's got a great Yorker. He can go up and down pace. He reads the game well. Yeah, he to me, if I'm picking a 2020 team, I want Josh Hazlewood there.
Tell you what, as well, depending on how long he goes with Test cricket, he's basically insured of his property investment portfolio over the next 5 years. Thanks to the IPL, might expand, given how proficient he's become.
I'd take him.
T20 bowling, absolutely. And Tim David as well. Just back to Tim, the power hitting. Who are some of the best power hitters you've seen in cricket? Full stop. Names for me like Chris Gale, Afridi back in the day. They're names that pop out at me as like, okay, this guy, no matter what the situation of the game, we could see something really quickly happen and momentum change.
Well, the guys I played with, the best to me was probably Watto.
Yeah.
He had a power game as good as those names you mentioned. I remember batting with Watto, and you're talking about long ons going back. They're not worried if the field goes back these days. They train to be able to, if it's in their slot, that if they get it, they're not worried where the field is. So Watto, and before that, and probably before his time a bit, Matty Haddin was as good a power hitter as we've seen as well. But Watto, to me, was out and out the best power hitter that I played with.
Yeah.
I remember in the 2011 World Cup, I remember Justin Langer was batting coach. And with Watto, you couldn't back up. One, you could outrun him anyway, so you didn't have to run that many twos. But because he hit it straight back, and I remember going in a batting meeting, Langer's blowing up that I didn't back up.
Yeah.
And I said, mate, I'm not backing up to Watto. One, I'll outrun him.
Yeah.
But if I take half a step out, if he hits it back, one will hit me. And the other is I won't get back if the bowler gets a hand on it. So, Watto was up there with the best.
Yeah. But how has Tim David kind of not reinvented things, but added little bits and pieces so he's not just the one-trick pony of one spot in the ground that's his only place?
I think Tim David is actually a really good story. He did a lot of groundwork in lesser tournaments all around the world for not much money and found a niche in his game where, okay, I can bat at 6 and I can change a competitive score into a winning score where he could get 40 off 12 balls. He had the power at the end. And as his game's evolved, he's added a bit more batsmanship to his game. Teams became really clever on the way they bowled to him. But as he's gone to bigger tournaments, smarter analytics, better bowlers, he's had to reinvent his game as well. So the one thing I liked about what he did in the West Indies, I don't know if you remember his 100, a part-time off-spinner came on, and the game's built a lot on matchups, and he hit the ball for one down the long on, just walked through for one. He said, no. I'm not taking it. And I remember being in the commentary box and they're saying, oh, well, you should have taken this. And I'm saying, no. This is why he's in the team. This was his bread and butter. He hit 3 sixes that over. They bowled a no ball and he hit another one. So I think the over went for 20. So he's a real niche player in that role. But what Australia have done, they've given him a bit more responsibility. And then he's had to understand a bit more the batting craft. He's always got the power. But I like the way with responsibility he's developed his game.
So there's our summary of the first T20, and you know how you say sometimes that that was seamless, like we just went through things at an even pace and correctly and everything like that. That whole chat was seamed. It had a big pronounced seam because it was all over the shop. So yeah, sorry about that if you're listening along at home and trying to follow what the hell we're saying. We went from Tim David to something else back to Tim David.
That's what 2020 is.
Yeah, we're all over the shop right there. So anyway, just to wrap up some things out of last night and the last couple of weeks in Australian cricket with the Australian men's team, Jake Weatherall, it seems like there's these little stories. There's a really nice feature done with him over the weekend on Code Sports, I think it was. Yeah. About where he's come from, where he hopes to go, what he's been through with mental health issues as well. But his name keeps on popping up. Now, do these things happen by accident?
Well, the reason his name keeps popping up is his performances over the last 2 years. He scored 900 Shield runs last year down at Bell Reeve, and that's a hard place to bat. And the other thing is he's got the opportunity in the Australian A setup, and he got big runs. So what I like about his story is it hasn't been smooth sailing. He's been a talent for a long, long time, Jake, but he's had time out of the game for mental health. He's been pretty open about what he had to deal with. And to come back to open the batting, to move states from South Australia to Tassie, and it's the style of game that he plays as well. Once he's in, he gets big hundreds. He puts pressure back on opposition bowling. And I like that his name is there and thereabouts. So it's a big call going into an Ashes campaign with a brand new opener. But if he keeps putting big numbers the way he's now...
If he goes double ton at the start of Shield...
Well, you can understand why his name's been spoken about. And George would have seen him closer than anyone. And he'd know exactly where he's from a skill point of view, mental point of view. He's in Tassie now, so he would have had a good look at him.
Yeah. When I say that his name keeps popping up, it does help that the chairman of selectors says, he's in the mix. Yeah. George Bailey came out and said that. So that's probably why his name popped up a bit. And Kerry O'Keefe, Skull, in commentary last night says, I got Jason Sanger at 3 for Australia. I got Cameron Green down to 6 and he apologised to Bo Webster.
This one I find hard to talk about.
Why?
Because it does my head in that he left New South Wales.
Oh, okay.
This kid has always
pop
been...
at Skull then?
No.
Sacrilegious.
Not Skull. Mate, you lose your job. This kid has always been a superstar. Yeah. He was in and out of the New South Wales team, but his talent was always there. 18-year-old, he scored 100 against England the last time they were out here. So he's just found a really good place in his game with South Australia. I think Ryan Harris really suits his style of play. He was always a technical player, asked a lot of questions, and challenged a lot from coaches as well. But, mate, I'd love to see him get a game. I'm a big fan, have been for some time. I don't like that he's doing it in a Redbacks cap, if I'm honest. But if I put my baggy green on, his name's thereabouts.
Yeah, put that aside, will you, Hads? I mean, this is what we're about, Australian cricket. It's Australian cricket. It's not state cricket.
That's where he's made his mark, in state cricket.
Yeah, but...
I like the kid. I'm agreeing with you that he's a chance. His name's in the mix.
Just think of the greater good.
I agree.
If he's gone down there, bang. Just leave it alone.
I can't leave that one with him.
Anyway, we're going to go to a quick drinks break because we've chatted for about half an hour here. And we're going to come back and the first of our featured players ahead of the Ashes will go into a deep dive about Harry Brook. Plus, we've got Would You Rather and a couple of sundries to look after as well. Special feature on Willow Talk in the lead up to the Ashes. Each and every week, we'll just pick one player, and go in depth about that. As we get closer, we might start talk about the Shield bat-off participants. But right now, we'll just pick one of England's best, if not England's most crucial player. I've got a couple, like Stokes, Joe Root, but we've gone with Harry Brook here. So 30 tests into his career. Harry, averaging 57, strike rate of 87. As mentioned at the top of the show, thanks to CricViz, over 1,000 runs scored in men's test cricket. He has got the highest strike rate of all time. He's nearly at 3,000 runs, 10 hundreds, 13 50s. So when he's in a rhythm, that statistic tells you that he can and will go on with it. He's got a triple ton as well. He's ranked 2 in the ICC test rankings behind Joe Root. What exactly does he mean to the style of cricket that England like to play?
He's fearless, and he's one player in a team meeting that you spend a lot of time on. And he's one player that can put this Australian bowling unit off their game if he's on song. One thing he does do is he scores quickly. He's not afraid of getting out, and he reminds me a bit of Kevin Peterson when he first came into Test cricket. He was a big wicket, and if he bats for long periods of time, he gets big hundreds, but he gets big hundreds at pace. And that's the one thing he'll bring. Will he be able to handle the bounce out here in Australia? That's something he hasn't had to deal with, but he got a great 100 in New Zealand. I think it was at Wellington on a really seaming surface that offered a lot to the fast bowlers, and he just came out and took the game away. And that's the one thing he can do. When he walks out to bat, you come from the members bar to your seat to watch.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to see.
He's a lawnmower man.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Stop the lawnmower, get inside, watch Harry Brook. He's playing.
Yeah.
So this guy really has burst on the scene, but he always had a boom on him. So England under-19 captain, you don't get that by accident. They've obviously thought very highly of him. But he actually came out to Australia early in his career just for an experience over a long English winter, come out here, play over summer. He played for the Uni in New South Wales here in Sydney, playing grade cricket. And I've actually got... He started in Point of Grays, so that's 21.
21, yep.
And in round 3, in October of 2018, he scored a scintillating 81 off 39 against Manly Warringah, and he was the player of the round for round 3 at Uni in New South, and he was the Workspace Commercial Furniture Player of the Round, and they awarded it to Harry Brooks. No, Brooks. Brooks.
Oh, I haven't got my glasses.
They give it Harry Brooks. I think everyone knows his name now. But what do you think of that as a little introduction to Australian conditions, coming down here as a young man and playing?
Well, it's like what we do to a lot of our young batters. We used to try to send them over to county cricket to get a taste of what it's like to play the Duke's ball, different parts of the summer. And a lot of the young batters in England try to do the same. We've seen Zach Crawley out here at times. Harry Brooks. Didn't even know his name then, but it's great education for him. It's smart. Kevin Peterson did it. He came out to Sydney Uni. Sam Billings went out to Penrith. So they're scattered. Borthwick actually played at Northern Districts where I played, and 2013 come played the last Test match of the summer. So it's a great education to get used to the Australian culture. It's a great time to be for an 18, 19-year-old running around Sydney, around New South Wales Uni, Randwick, down at the Coogee.
I wouldn't have thought that Harry, given Uni in New South Bay in the eastern side of Sydney, that after a day's play on a Saturday and or Sunday, he would have just literally pulled up stumps, gone home, got a good night's sleep and been up at 5 a.m. for a jog, if you know what I mean.
No. The other thing I noticed about Harry is when the game got a bit feisty over there in the Test series, and it was great to watch, he was in the middle of it. And he was also the one in the presser that said, we've called a meeting. We spoke about, and I think it was him that brought it up. I think we're being too nice.
He's Yorkshire, so he's like to the point.
He likes confrontation, I think. So
Yeah.
he'll be one that he'll enjoy the conditions in Australia. It'll be interesting to see how he handles our fast bowlers with the bounce. But the one thing we will know is come out and watch, because he'll be taking the game on. He'll put the pressure back on our bowlers with a fearless approach.
That one summer he spent here in Australia, by the way, in grade cricket, 700 runs at 47. He was up the list, but having a look at that list, I would call it, in modern times, the greatest summer of Sydney Premier cricket, grade cricket, whatever you want to call it, of all time.
Yeah.
Zach Crawley was out here playing for Sydney Cricket Club, but that was the year that Dave Warner and Steve Smith weren't allowed to play anything but grade cricket, and they played a lot as well. Davey was down there with his local club, Steve Smith for Southo as well, which means that I've got to give a shout out to Blake McDonald, who topped them all that year with the averages with 80. He's now down in Victoria, so it's
Canberra boy.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I knew you mentioned that. I wasn't going to mention it because I knew you would.
For Radford College, maybe? I played with his dad, actually, in the first ever Comets game.
Doesn't that make you feel old when you say, I played with his dad?
It does now.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of it that way. But his dad, Daryl, I played when Comets won their first ever game in the one-day competition. His dad played.
There you go. Was that the Merv year? Yeah. So there you go. Just a special shout out. 2018-19, a year like no other in Sydney grade cricket, with the calibre of batters on display, including Harry Brook. If you are to target Harry Brook, how do you go about it, Hads? Given I remember in this recent test series against India, he poked around, just looked after thing, and then just decided, no, I'm going to start giving crowd catches.
Yeah. Challenge his defence.
How?
Well, you've got to try to build up dot balls on Harry Brook and make him have to make decisions off your really good balls. And we've got Camo and Hazlewood who do that as well as anyone. And then see what his appetite is to go after your good balls and make the pressure build up that way. Then he will do something, because he's a player that he doesn't want the game to stand still. So if you can build up dot ball pressure and then make him make those decisions where he charges down the wicket or does something different to do those decisions off your good balls.
So with a player like that, is it in Australian conditions short of a length with the bounce? Because he does look pretty comfortable swinging the bat at hip height. Or is it full and hope that the ball's moving around? I mean, where do you frame it?
Well, they'll have their plans to him, whether they go short to him or first and foremost, you want to challenge his defence. Mm-hmm. He likes to go through the offside, whether you go tighter to him and make him make those decisions off the stumps. But the one thing you do, you want to build some pressure up on him, and when you do, you'll feel the game start to change, and he'll get anxious, because he's not someone that'll just get through that situation. He'll want to dominate that situation. So Australia can use his strength to their advantage if they bowl well. As I said, get him making decisions off their good balls.
Yeah, Ben Horn from The Telegraph ranked him number 2 behind Ben Stokes in his ultimate Ashes power ranking setup.
2?
Yeah.
Where's Joe Root?
Probably 3. I would hope for Joe. Maybe Joffre's 3. He's 4.
I've got Joe Root up there.
Yeah, fair enough. But the Australians, in the only time that we've played against Harry Brook at test level, Australia, they shared him around. Everyone's got him out in terms of our frontline bowlers, Pat, Mitch, Josh and Nathan. So there's no one set, and he didn't get on top of someone totally consistently. So
Nathan will be a big player to him, because he'll look to take, you'll know exactly what he's trying to do with Nathan, is take him on straight away.
Yeah.
And you can have in-out fields there. With our grounds being a lot bigger than the ones in the UK, you can use that as your advantage as well. Shut off one side of the ground, poke his boundaries, and have guys in, putting a bit of pressure on him in the ring. So Nathan will be a big player too.
His eyes light up when spin comes on. Yeah. I mean, we've seen what he's done in Pakistan, that 317. Yeah. He, I think in his second test of all time, he's gone to Pakistan twice. He's scored a big ton in that as well. So
different conditions here. The bounce is your friend here.
Anyway, we'll see what he can dish up. Harry Brook. Battle of the Fives, by the way, this Ashes. Pretty similar rate of going about things, Travis and Harry.
They're both momentum players, and they're both players that both teams rely a lot on to put the pressure back on the opposition. So maybe whoever scores has the best series from our number fives goes a long way to seeing the result come our way.
Now, cricketers scoring at a rate. Elisa Healy. She is, of course, a professional cricketer this week. Hopefully, not sure if we're going to hear from her on Willow Talk. Just let her bunker down and get back into playing consistently. And she has been 3 knocks, 27-27, and a 70 off 44 balls. Her side, Australia A, has won all 3 of the T20 matches against India A. A tight one in the third one. She's going to play the 3 one-dayers as well this week, but not going to play the 4-day match. She's put in for leave because she wants to come back here to Willow Talk and talk to us. But it's good to see her back. And I mean, as a cricketer, Hads, I don't know if you've come back from an injury layoff and all you've wanted to do is play consistent cricket, or do you have to take your time with it and just pick and choose when the time is right?
I think this is a perfect tournament for Heels to get back into it. When you have a long layoff, like I look at the scores, she's getting better and better as the tournament goes on. I'm not looking at her score. She's played enough cricket. All I'm saying to her at the end of it, mate, how do you feel? Is your injury, you're happy with that? That's not making life difficult to play. And the runs, as you know, because she's a class player, come. But the main thing out of this is making sure she gets through, get some confidence in the injury she has. Keeping-wise, we're not seeing a keep, which is not a great concern because she'll be doing all that off the field as well. And someone who's played as long as she have, it's about she'll get a rhythm back in a couple of sessions once her body feels like she can handle the load. So it's great.
And it's one thing that the Australian women's cricket team has never been short of. It's a wicket keeper. So when one can't keep, there's, like, for instance, Beth Mooney drops straight in for the Australian
Heels
team.
will want to keep. Once she gets back into the... But it's a slow process to get there.
Mitch T has asked on Instagram, why isn't she keeping? Well, Nicole Feldman is keeping, but they just wanted Heels to run around in the field. I was calling for fine leg to fine leg for her, just to get the Ks up.
She's not doing that. No, the reason she's not keeping is, first and foremost, get through with the batting. The keeping will not take her long to get back into rhythm of international standard.
She'd love this, us talking about her without her being here to talk about herself. But like in her first knockback, I don't know if you saw that, she actually broke the bottom of, something happened to the bottom of her bat and next ball got out. Is that, like, can something happening to a beloved bat? I don't know if it's happened to you. Just fry your mind straight away?
Straight away.
Well, it's only
a
piece of wood.
No. You're wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Because it's like one of your kids. You have a favourite.
But you break one of your kids.
Well, it's...
We're going to have to delete this part of the podcast.
You have your favourite bat and you can close your eyes, you pick it up, you don't use it in the nets. If you're in bad form, you go in the nets with it. And the day it breaks, it's heartbreaking. You might have 5 different ones where the company makes them exactly the same. But when you've got, it might be superstition, you've got a couple of good scores with it, it just puts your mind at ease. I did it through 2013 Ashes where mine went after the second test.
Yeah.
Mate, I had glue, I had nails, I had everything trying to keep it in play as long as I could. It plays with your head. I'm telling you, it shouldn't. But I'm just
picturing, my mind's run off into the fact that you couldn't bat with it for the 5th test, so you came out in a black armband, you had a ceremony for it before the game. Mate, it's like...
It can ruin your career. Mate,
Didn't ruin yours, though.
Our minds can go to strange places as cricketers.
I can tell.
Mate, it's the same as when you keep. I used to have to put a brand new pair of innings every time I started a new innings.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Every
innings.
What about gloves? How long did gloves last you?
Mate, I liked mine a bit stiffer. But you could actually
Don't we all, Bradley?
Yeah, true. You could get them refaced. If you got a favourite pair that just fitted your hands perfectly, you could get them refaced when the rubber went off them. But mate, I can understand with your bat. You've got to go work another one in. You've sort of got a couple ready to go, but it's not a good place to be in.
Couple of wicketkeepers in the history of cricket, not you, have refaced it with certain other things as well. Anyway, I won't go into that. Would you rather to end this episode of Willow Talk? Oh, there's some beauties in here, Hads, and it's just unfair that you have to answer them. But you have to answer them. Unlucky. Are these from, Jolie, these are from the Secret Cricket Club. Thank you, everyone, for sending these in. Secret Cricket Club members. This is what they get. They get the right to ask questions like this. If you're in the Secret Cricket Club, go to Instagram page. You'll see it right there. Join up. You'll keep up to date with everything we're doing here at Willow Talk. Okay, first one. Ashes on the line at the SCG. Would you rather run out Alan Border or drop a sitter off Dennis Lilly?
No way. You're not pissing the Godfather off. Mate, did you see what he did to Craig McDermott when he...
No. Would you rather run out Alan Border or drop a sitter off Dennis Lilly? So you're saying you'd rather drop a sitter off Dennis Lilly not to piss off Alan Border?
Yeah, I'm not pissing off Alan Border. No,
couldn't imagine Dennis would be over the moon if you dropped a sitter off him.
I'd take that, mate. No, yep. I'd take at least the abuse from Dennis. Might get physical a bit,
yeah.
But AB would break you down mentally. He would ruin you. Mate, I would not. No, AB.
Would you rather the current Australian bowling attack or the 05 Australian bowling attack? Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh, mate, that's actually easy. I'd like this current one.
Yeah?
Because the 2005 one would be too old now.
Okay. I don't think you're getting the concept of the question. You're not getting...
I'm getting it.
The spirit in which it was asked.
I'm getting it. Would you rather... I said yes, the current one, because... Yeah. They're a lot fresher. McGrath maybe still at this age would go into that group. That's a tough question.
That is a very tough question. Would you rather run a quick single against Michael Clarke, Ricky Ponting or Andrew Simons? Whose arm are you taking on there?
Oh, that's a good one. I think I'm taking on...
Feels disparaging, this answer.
Clarke.
Michael Clarke.
The other ones... Punter and Simo, I reckon, hit the stumps more.
Mm.
That's a tough one.
Well, Ricky hits the stumps. Andrew Simons is onto the ball before you can blink, and you're not even 3 steps down.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good field, so it's no disrespect to Michael Clarke. You just had to choose one. Not me.
Actually,
you. What? Hang on.
No.
It's a late twist.
Clarke.
You right?
Clarke, yeah.
You having fun over there?
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself. Okay, last one. Jeez, this is a wild one.
Oh, no.
Would you rather have Weatherald, McSweeney in the top order or Harris and Bancroft? It's a form v experience type. You have to go with form, wouldn't you? Not that Marcus Harris and Cameron Bancroft have been horribly out of form. Marcus has been on the fill-up over there in England.
McSweeney have been for that. That's... Well, we're going to see a shootout, aren't we? They've spoken it, and I think they're going to probably land with young Sam anyway.
Big call, Maxie.
Yeah, so what I like is that we've got a conversation around some form batters. McSweeney, what I liked about him is the way he handled getting dropped. He won't get a harder introduction to Test cricket than what he got with Bumrah.
That was like getting dropped into the Australian side in the 80s against the West Indies.
Yeah. And
some men aimed up and went back out the back door again pretty swiftly in that era. But McSweeney, he aimed up for South Australia after he got the flick.
That question's an interesting one because what about if Marnus goes to the top? What about if Sam stays there? Are we saying it's a shootout here between Weatherall, McSweeney, Harris and Bancroft?
Well, Hads, I spoke earlier about the greatest season with the bat in the modern era of Sydney grade cricket. But I think it's pretty damn clear in September, late September, we are going to see the beginning of the greatest Shield season of all time. Well, the first 4 games anyway, given the discussion points to come out of it.
There'll be a lot of discussion points.
Exactly. That's us for this episode of Willow Talk. There is a rumour that we might be catching up with an old mate of yours whose story has been mentioned a couple of times in the last... 2 stories about this man has been mentioned a couple of times in the last few episodes of Willow Talk. So we'll hopefully nail that one down and have it for our listeners later in the week. But thanks for that, mate.
Keep it real.
Good luck with the shoes.
Lost or found one.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.